So many people are mad at this system that they're in, and they spend so much time just being mad at the system instead of learning to navigate the system. I think people are more frustrated with the lack of understanding of the system. It's what keeps people trapped where they are, blaming the system. But I remember during a debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton was talking about, I've paid such and such in taxes over the last couple of years, and you've only paid this much. And it was like a huge difference. And he was just like, that just makes me smarter than you. And that's when the light bulb went on. Because I used to be the one complaining about the taxes and the rich don't pay taxes and this and that. Everybody pays taxes. It's the way everything's framed up and presented. Everybody pays taxes, just different ways and different degrees. And when you understand what those taxes go for and why, employees and all that, being a business owner isn't as glamorous as everybody thinks it is. It can be if you learn how to play the system, play the game. And my philosophy is to play the game, play the system with honor. You play by the rules and you learn them and you understand them. And when you add honor to it, the chances of you being successful in any endeavor will always be better. It's like I remember I'm being on Section 8 and going through a program, the self-sufficiency program, to learn how to get off all that stuff. Medicaid, food stamps, Section 8, all of it. I was on it all. Doing the same thing that just generations do. But it was like I just kept looking at the situation and the landscape like, this isn't working. This isn't going to be my kids' story. And they got to see me and my wife work from Section 8 to, I'm not even going to brag. It's just to where I'm living now is just, it's insane. But it took an understanding of the system. Understanding that the United States is a corporation. It's not what they paint it. It is literally a corporation. And when you understand that, kind of takes the veil behind what they're presenting. Takes that veil away. And then when you understand that the moment you're born, you become a corporate entity. Literally. And everything is based on this corporate shenanigans, really. But once you start unraveling it and understanding how to use it to your advantage instead of just complaining and blaming. And there's going to be all kinds of hiccups and bumps and stuff along the way, but let's just say it's going to take you 10 years to be at a spot that you think you should be in 5. It's going to take the 10 years. And people will give up at the 5. You have to see it all the way through. And it's getting harder and harder to keep focused and do one thing continuously all the way through. That program had me getting better jobs. My wife got her GED. Like we had to wean ourselves off of the food stamps as we leveled up with the jobs. I was the only one working because it didn't make sense at the time. Raising kids and having a wife work just basically to pay for daycare and somebody else raising their kids. People got to do what they're got to do, but that was my situation. I wasn't having it. I worked for 20 years by myself, pretty much, taking care of my family. 5 kids and a wife. One with special needs, has Down syndrome. And it's like we did all this. And our stories are ridiculously terrible. So it's like you have to learn the system. You can't just keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result, man. I'll pound that until the day I die. That's literally insanity when you break it all down. The moral to this whole thing is like, man, you're frustrated with the system and it's Republicans, it's Democrats, it's this, it's taxes, it's the fucking mirror, man. What are you doing about it? Now what? Now you know that the taxes are high and inflation's crazy. And this cyclical, like the inflation does this in cycles. It's like, did you not take notes of the last time it happened? Like I knew in 2008, that was the last time I was broke. That was the last time I lived paycheck to paycheck. Because I saw the cycle. I was like, nah, this is happening. Like, it's going to happen again. It's going to keep happening. And if you're not doing anything in between and you're just doing the same exact shit, what do you think is going to happen? Consequences are going to get worse because things get worse. Inflation gets worse. But I will tell you what I did to crack the code. To any of you single moms or anyone with kids that are getting a decent size income tax. This is how it clicked, man. We get in these cycles to where we'll be broke all year and we get the income tax and that poof, it's gone, man. But like I added up my water bill, my electric bill, my gas bill. I went through line by line and added up every single month and it came to like $6,103. I remember it to this day. And it was like, that's what it costs to pay my bills every month. And the way I looked at it, this is the why I'm broke every month, because every time I get my paycheck, I got to pay bills. So I took that money and I put it in a separate checking account. And I paid my bills with it all year long. I didn't touch it. I just created the discipline because it was so invigorating to get a freaking paycheck and it not be gone. That right there, when I got my paycheck and didn't have to just immediately pay all those bills, man, that lit a flame. It was like, oh, man. And then the next year, income tax came. You put it right back in that same account. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I had a bill pay account and I had a spending account. I had every single time that I would spend, I'd have this much money to spend in a week. I'd bring that down. Let's say there's like $40 left into it. Say my spending, I could only pay, let's just say it's $200 a week. I can only spend $200 a week. I spent, there's $50 left. I get my paycheck. I bring that back up to $200, throw the rest in the bill pay. Pay my bills and my rent with that money all year. And it gets to the point where every year that money just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we had a nice sized little pot. That was the beginning of me being able to stop living paycheck to paycheck instead of people just getting on here and saying, I did it. Like, I live here now. How the fuck did you do it? That's how I did it. So if you get money, I don't care if it's freaking $3,000, $2,000 on your income tax. Use that $2,000 for however long that $2,000 is going to stretch and pay your monthly bills. And then in between there, all kinds of stuff can happen. Your hustle can happen. It's learning and seeking people out that are doing it different to level up, man. You got to learn the system. Stop complaining about the system and do something about it. And if you don't know how, you got to learn. You can't get out of work, man. Even if you didn't have jobs, if all the jobs go away, you still got to work. You still got to plant. You still got to harvest. There's nowhere where you can go where there's no work. Just believe in yourself. It can be done, man. Look all around you. The proof is all around you. All they show you is the misery. But go seek out and find the ones that have already gotten it done. That's all I got for you.